Hey guys, what's going on? This is Tyler and we are back with another Dragon Ball What If video, and today we are going to be starting a brand new What If, and I've been wanting to do this for a while and many of you have requested it. What if future Piccolo survived? Now before we get into this video, I would like to give a couple shoutouts to these very underrated YouTubers who are my boys slash homies, and they deserve so much more love. Now, the first channel I'm going to be shouting out is Lord Lou Legend. He's a YouTuber who does Zelda content, and I don't know much about Zelda, but I have watched some of his videos, and he has taught me some stuff about Zelda. An example is the character Ravio, and he made a video breaking down on who he is, which I do appreciate, him breaking down characters for people who don't really, in particular, know the series that much, or just want to, know more about the Zelda lore. So I appreciate that, and again, he deserves so much more love. His layout on his videos, his editing is super duper clean, so be sure to go check him out. Another boy I wanted to shout out is Noodles. He's going to be doing a ranking of the Akatsuki video. He is a debater and one of the best debaters I know, so be sure to go subscribe to him. Another one who is a very good debater and a very talented one at that is Arrow Flame. He is my boy, and he has made a video ranking the top 5 strongest Chunin exam participants, so be sure to go check that out. Along with the Chadwick and Legacy Comics, where Legacy Comics did a top 10 most powerful Eternals list, and the Chadwick, he does power scaling videos, and he's going to be doing a scaling on John Wick and the Immortal Hulk. So be sure to go check out all those other channels, and keep in mind that these channels are hella underrated and they deserve so much more clout. So be sure to go subscribe to them and comment on the recent video that I sent you here. And even if you guys don't like this much content, again, just hit them with the sub because they do deserve so much more clout. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's get right into the video. We have the androids attacking a nearby city. The Z-Fighters would immediately head out into the direction where power levels are dropping. When they investigate to see what caused this, they would encounter 17 and 18. I think you guys know what happens next. The androids basically kill everyone like in the original except for Gohan. However, one character would survive along with Gohan in this scenario, and that character is Piccolo. Gohan is basically trying to wake up Piccolo, hoping that he's alive, and luckily Piccolo manages to get up. Now, in the context of the future Piccolo, we know that Android 18 was the one who killed him, and so Piccolo would quickly recollect the thoughts of what happened before he blacked out, and remembers that the teenager with the blonde hair was the reason why he was unconscious in the first place. Piccolo would say, "Gohan, where's everyone else?" Gohan begins to break down and cry. They're all gone, Mr. Piccolo." Piccolo has a shocked expression on his face and immediately scouts out the area for the Z-Fighters. He would find Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, and Vegeta lying on the floor and not responding to Piccolo at all. Piccolo would try and resuscitate their life force, however it is too late. The Z-Fighters are dead and Gohan and Piccolo are the only ones left. Piccolo would quickly think about what they're going to do and immediately thinks of a plan. I believe it is very likely for Piccolo to come up with the idea that they should go to the lookout and discuss things with Kami, since, again, he did sort of do this in the present timeline. Not to mention, I do believe he would be thinking about fusing with Kami, since that's their really only shot on taking on the androids. He would discuss this with Gohan, and him and Gohan would head out to the lookout where they would encounter Popo and Kami. I believe Piccolo talking to Kami would go how it did in the present timeline. It would be Piccolo basically saying how everyone is dead and they need to become one in order to stop these androids from causing more chaos. All this arguing would come to a conclusion when Kami finally gives in and decides to fuse with Piccolo. Piccolo, after successfully merging with Kami, believes that he is a lot more powerful enough to take on these androids, and so he would wait out a couple of days until the androids attack another nearby city, and what do you know, he would sense a bunch of power levels dropping in a nearby city, and with this he would immediately go on and investigate. When Piccolo drops down in the city, he would encounter 17 and 18, and like last time, Piccolo would challenge 18. This would only piss off 18 because she thought that he was dead and decides that, you know what, I'm gonna kill him this time. And with this, 18 and Piccolo begin their battle, and I do believe Piccolo actually does alright against 18. Remember, he fused with Kami after all, and that already gave him a major power ramp in the original. So I do believe he would do decent against 18. However, I wouldn't say he's overpowering her. I would say they're going blow for blow. With this happening, this would frustrate 18, and with Piccolo's strategical mindset, he would actually overwhelm 18 with his technique, because remember, 18 in the future is a lot more hot-headed than the present timeline version, and with this, Piccolo would take advantage of this and actually begin to win the fight, not because of pure power, but because of pure strategy. 17 would see 18 struggling against Piccolo pretty badly, and so he would interfere, and now Piccolo is getting 2v1'd. Now, I do believe Piccolo might have a chance, maybe if he was training. However, we have to understand that he fused with Kami without any 3 years of training, and we have to understand as well that 18 and Piccolo were already swapping hands, and 17 has already been confirmed stronger than 18. So Piccolo is just getting majorly overwhelmed by the two. At this point, the fight would end up with Piccolo being in a corner and 17 and 18 slowly walking up to Piccolo, and Piccolo believes that this is his demise. However, Gohan would blast 2 key blasts out of the blue, sending 17 and 18 flying. Now, Gohan actually flew to Piccolo's aid once he sensed Piccolo's power dropping. The key blast doesn't damage 17 and 18, but it does send them back flying enough for Gohan to keep his distance and basically get Piccolo out of there. When 18 and 17 get out of the rubble, the 18 would want to chase after Gohan. However, 17 would then say, "Don't worry, it's not worth it. When they come back, we'll finish them once and for all." We would then cut to Gohan and Piccolo flying up to the lookout. However, they would land on Korin's tower barely rather than landing on the lookout. The only reason why is because they want to grab a couple of centibeans, and so they do that. Korin gives Gohan a bag of centibeans, and so Piccolo eats a centibean, and now he's fully recovered. After this, they would head to the lookout, basically wondering how they're going to beat these androids, until Mr. Popo comes up with the plan. Mr. Popo would then explain his plan to the two, and that they can get a full 1 year of training in just 1 day. Piccolo would then question Mr. Popo, and basically saying how it makes no sense. However, Mr. Popo would then say, well, it's actually a chamber, the hyperbolic time chamber. He would then point it out to them, and then he would say how 1 day out here is 1 year in there, so you get a full 1 year of training, and you also have a 2 days maximum, so you get a full 2 years of training if you want. Mr. Popo would also bring up the fact that only 2 people can go into the chamber at a time, and so Piccolo and Gohan would go inside the chamber. Piccolo would pick Gohan as his partner, and Gohan would grudgingly accept. Reason why Gohan would grudgingly accept is because he feels like he's gonna hold Piccolo back, and with this happening, Piccolo would actually see this in Gohan saying what's wrong. Gohan would then bring up the fact that he's gonna hold Piccolo back and he doesn't want that to happen. Piccolo would then look at Gohan. Gohan, we're Earth's only hope. We have nothing left in our world. Your father, everyone, Vegeta, Tia, and Yamcha, Krillin, all of them are gone. We have to do this for them, for the entire world. And we can't just let this happen over you thinking that you're going to hold me back. You're going to be the next generation, and you're going to take up the mantle of your father. So you're going to have to suck it up. Gohan would then say that he never really wanted to fight. However, Piccolo would then bring up the fact that he really had no choice. Threats like the androids destroying everything, burning everything to the ground, killing all of his friends, Gohan has no other choice but to fight. He's put it into a world where he has no other choice but to fight. After Piccolo brings this up, Gohan would actually admit that Piccolo was right about this, and that they should probably get to training. And with this, they would head inside the hyperbolic time chamber with the intent of getting stronger and surpassing the androids. When Piccolo and Gohan enter the time chamber, I do believe Gohan would go Super Saiyan like how he did in the Cell Saga. Like how Goku basically forced it out of him, however Piccolo would do this with a lot more aggression. Piccolo would basically beat Gohan into a pulp, saying how he will never take up the mantle of his father if he's this weak, and he basically let all the Z Fighters die, and this is all his fault, and he's a good-for-nothing little brat. With this happening, this would make Gohan snap, making him into a Super Saiyan, and even punching Piccolo in the face. Piccolo is really not even mad at this, and he's just satisfied that he was able to bring this out of Gohan, and he's actually proud of Gohan. With this happening, Piccolo and Gohan would continue their training, with Gohan mastering grade 1 and Piccolo just getting overall stronger. Now, when Piccolo and Gohan emerge from the time chamber, Gohan looks like his Cell Saga counterpart from the present timeline, and when Mr. Popo sees Piccolo and Gohan, he's shocked to see the difference in power that they've displayed, and not to mention the difference in looks, because Gohan looks like a complete different person. This should already give you an idea on how powerful they are, because Gohan and Piccolo haven't even powered up, and Mr. Popo can already tell that they surpassed their pre-time chamber training counterpart. Piccolo and Gohan both decide to wait until the androids attack again. A couple days later, and power levels would be dropping like flies. Piccolo and Gohan would be aware of this, and both decide to head out to the area where power levels are dropping. After they arrive, Piccolo and Gohan would then land onto the ground looking around the strangely quiet area. They would just be cautiously looking around, seeing where the androids might be hiding, when all of a sudden 17 rushes up behind Piccolo, sending him flying with a kick, along with 18 catching Gohan off guard and blasting him away with the Ki Blast. Both Gohan and Piccolo would recover from the android sneak attack. Aw, look, it's the little kid who saved you last time. Now the boy wants his turn to fight. He looks a bit older from what I remember. Gohan would then lash out, "Enough. I'm done with all the harm you've caused on the world." He powers up into a Super Saiyan state. "Time to meet your end today, androids." Piccolo would power up, saying to 17, "You tried to help your sister last time, right? Why don't you come and face me by yourself this time?" 18 would rush at Piccolo, saying how she's gonna finish what she started. Piccolo would stand still and say, "I think you already have another challenger." 18 would be confused to Piccolo's words, but as she tries to process this, a golden light would come from the side of 18, sending her flying into a building. Gohan would then point at her, "Your opponent is me." 18 would rush at Gohan, while Gohan would counteract with his own rush. As both powers collide, 17 would rush at Piccolo. Now this new Piccolo 17 is facing is on a completely different level. 17 would be trying his best to hit Piccolo, but every hit seemingly misses Piccolo. When Piccolo begins to move on the offensive, 17 is unable to react to Piccolo. To be honest, this fight isn't even a close one in comparison to when these two fought in the present timeline. Piccolo would finish off 17 faster than when Trunks did. After Piccolo does this, he would head to Gohan to assist him, since Gohan is struggling against 18 a lot, and 18 isn't really trying against Gohan. Now, Piccolo would just send 18 flying and overall just bully her, doing a combination of punches and kicks and energy blasts, and I believe 18 would just be on the defensive the entire time. I believe the fight would end in with Piccolo kicking 18, sending her flying back and hitting her with a Masenko. However, Gohan would form his own Masenko in correlation with Piccolo's. Both Masenkos would combine into a massive one and basically reduce 18 into ash. Piccolo and Gohan have defeated the androids, and now they're going to be focusing on rebuilding. Now, I'm actually very curious to see what you guys would do, so I'm just going to put this poll up on the community tab. Be sure to go check it out after this video. Do Piccolo and Gohan go to New Namek by basically asking Bulma to try and find the location they would just be flying around looking for and they eventually find it? Or they just stick to themselves where it's just Gohan and Piccolo rebuilding everything? Remember, your vote can drastically change the outcome of the story, so be sure to vote. Now, with that out of the way, I really do want to thank you guys for watching this video and being very patient with my schedule, because I had been on vacation. Currently, I am on vacation, but I just wanted to do this video so you guys have a little bit of content until, when I get back. Now, again, be sure to check out every single channel in the description. Be sure to hit the subscribe button for all of them and comment on all of them. Just watch all of them, bro. They're all good channels. They all have good content. Just watch it. All right, that's it. Just watch it. Now, once again, I do want to thank you guys for being patient with me, but hopefully you guys like this video. If you guys do want a part 2, be sure to comment that in the comment section below. Be sure to hit the notification bell and subscribe if you're new, along with following me on Twitter, which the link will be in the description, and join my Discord server if you like, so if you could catch me suggesting what ifs, because again, a lot of people comment on my videos now, and it's kind of hard to get to every single comment. So again, I will try and get to your comment, but if you do want to get your what if suggested fully guaranteed, be sure to join the Discord. Now, I do want to thank you guys for everything, being patient and stuff like that. Well, that voice cracked, but thank you for being patient. And with that out of the way, I'm going to get out of here. Peace out, guys.